Really? We gotta go through this again? We do? Okay, here. But this time, write it down. They aren't taking this season seriously. Thus, neither should anyone else. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic with Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into football and or hockey. I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins where you found this. Pirates 4, Reds 2, Reds 5, Pirates 1. Yes, it was a doubleheader in Cincinnati yesterday, and it obviously was a split. And it just as obviously didn't matter. None of it. The outcomes don't matter. Not to the people running and administering the franchise. And if anyone needed to have that cemented, this was the day/night for that. Because Roansy Contreras pitches really, really well in Game 1. Made some mechanical adjustments, worked on him through the week. After a rough start, bounced back, mowed down the Reds, especially with an effective slider on which he got 8 swings and misses the 15 times he threw it. That's what you want to see. That's progress. That matters. And after the evening was done, he was sent to Indianapolis. And I know that sounds completely preposterous. And that's because it is. The Pirates' spoken justification for this is that there had been a premeditated break in the schedule that they wanted him to have because he'd never been stretched out to this many innings. This was the time of year to do that. Carries him through the All-Star break. By going down to Indy, he has to stay there for 15 days so he can get in a little bit of work and then he can come back up whenever ready. And in the interim, he can stay on the taxi squad and not feel like he got demoted. That's what they say. Here is the truth. He's sent back for the same reason that it took that much longer for O'Neill Cruz to come up. And that's so that they can save money. Money on Super 2 when it gets to 3 and 4 years from now. I'm not going to bore everyone to tears here by getting into how Super 2 works, but plain and simple, you have to miss a couple of months of a year in your major league career in order for that year not to fully count toward your major league service time as it applies to arbitration. So once arbitration comes around, for most guys, if you're playing normal full years, it's after 3 years. But there's a select group that gets picked based on all kinds of variables, and the only way for teams to erase that is to do this kind of crap. There's a bit of a misnomer that exists. Well, actually, there are a lot of misnomers that exist around Super 2 because it's so confounding. But one of them is that it has something to do with when the player can become a free agent, and that is inaccurate. This is about saving money, period. That's it. And it's not even about saving money now. It's about saving money 3 and 4 years from now. That's the reason this move is being made, because by the time Contreras comes back, he'll be a lot closer to what most observers feel will be a safe period of time that he's been off the major league roster. That is your Pittsburgh Pirates doing that with such an important piece of their future right after he just figured something out at the big league level and mowed down a big league lineup. That's who they are. This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern. That's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park. You know who else the Pirates are? The Pirates are the team that brings up kids sees them do well, sees them build up some energy individually, collectively. And then, as soon as Josh Van Meter, Yoshi Tsutsugo, soon enough, Jake Maristic, I'm sure we'll see Kevin Newman and Ben Gamel's back. And I don't mean to lump them all together. I think some of them are good, solid players at this level. Well, okay, I feel that way about Gamel mostly, but Newman has been that at times as well. And of course, the moment they got clear, they couldn't just stick around and take reserve roles and let the kids play. No. You got to put them out there. You got to put Van Meter out there to commit an atrocious error that costs you the game. You know who doesn't care that it cost them the game? The people who run the franchise. Because they're not making moves in any way, shape, or form to facilitate the progress of the overall team, the feel of the overall team, the stuff that gets people excited. And believe it or not, I'm not talking about the outside here, okay? The truth is, we don't matter. You don't matter, and I don't matter toward this team becoming better. It can make a difference, better attendance, better crowds, more inspiration, etc., etc. But for the most part, it just doesn't matter. What does matter is that everything stagnates on the inside. There's only so much chipper speak that you can offer to a clubhouse that watches Roansy Contreras leave for 2 weeks because of money. There's only so much you can say to a clubhouse when they see a player come up from Indy and do at least reasonably well production-wise, but also show other forms of potential. And then they get shipped out as soon as this, 150 hitting bum who has no relevance whatsoever to the future of the Pirates gets thrown right back onto the field. Look, I don't mean to be, over the top here. I really don't. That's not my style. But I do feel that as much as Ben Cherington is doing things that are ultimately going to pay off for the Pirates, his plan, I believe, is ultimately going to pay off. I really feel like there's certain components to it that just don't need to be this slow or this backward or this challenging. When somebody's showing you they can play and they matter, let them bleeping play. When we come back, J1Q. And today's J1Q comes from Bill Downing, and it's in reference to the theme of yesterday's show, which was, basically I made a screed about batting average and how we all need to stop citing batting average because nobody inside baseball utilizes it really at all. It's all OPS. Bill says, I normally agree with most of your takes, DK, not this one. While I agree OPS is an important stat, batting average tells you so much about a hitter's overall production, especially their batting average with runners in scoring position. In this department, the Pirates are abysmal. If these coaches are now preaching launch angle above all else, is there any chance that they can change their line of thinking when there are runners in scoring position? This is where games are won or lost. You might want to look at the batting averages of some of the all-time great sluggers. These guys weren't just all or nothing guys. Yes, I'm an old school guy. I hate all the strikeouts and the lack of good situational strategy. This is why the game has become so predictable and boring. Bill, there's a lot in your entry that I could discuss, dispute, whatever. I'm not going to do that. I don't ever want to be perceived as like the know-it-all. My word is final and whatever else. Your word is final today. Your J1Q will stand on its own merit. I appreciate everyone who listens to Daily Shot of Pirates, including you, Bill, including everybody, whether you're old school new school or no school at all, which I would really hope would be the case for everybody in mid-July. Let's do this again on Monday.